Hey sailors, welcome to the crew. I'm Sealord Agenda, and this is my Let's Play of Wargame Red Dragon. We are continuing the Climb Mount Nordnaya campaign. It's turn 8, as I recall. I have until about turn 13 or something to take these last two airports, Tottori and Kanoya. The American fleet is just hanging out in November. We have Gobo, Nagasaki, and Hiroshima. We've just taken Obama, so this turn, these units will all, it's the start of a new turn, turn 8, and these units will all push on to Tottori. The independent naval regiment here will cross over as well, and the first strike squadron can make it as far as Yamaguchi, but I think... you know what, we'll make a judgment in a minute on that. There's nothing airborne that can cross over to Hiroshima, but I'm going to leave those there as a guard unit anyway. There's a Special Forces battalion with a lot of air cover moving down the coast. Now, and a support battalion, actually. Now, I don't have that much available to push on here. On the other hand, there's very little actually guarding Kanoya anymore. Just some infantry and airborne, and these tanks, which are pretty good tanks. So I think this area is under control. What I'm going to need is, I'm going to call in more Air Force over here. So we're going to bring in... and more Land Force too, probably. Let's see, that's a helicopter infantry brigade. That's an anti-ship company. Right. I'm gonna call in the T-80s at... Should I, though? Are they really any better, practically, than, like, the T-64s? There's less of them. I mean, the T-64s are much better, but... I mean, the T-80s are much better as tanks, but... these in themselves are already... quite impressive compared to most of the Japanese tanks. Okay, what else would I want to call in? This brigade, I think, can only deploy where Kuznetsov is. That's not... yeah, that kind of limits them. Motorized rifles can deploy any of these three. It'd be nice to have those. That would help a lot with stopping this push, so consider that. That would cost me 20. That would leave 32. So I could call in both of them. God damn it. I could... sorry. I could call in, I think, both the 140th Guards Tank Regiment, Colonel Gorky, and the 71st Rifles Regiment. The rifles I can put over here at Nagasaki. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, actually. You can cross directly from... yes. Okay, I'll put the rifles at Nagasaki. Oh wait, but Air Force. Should I consider bringing in more Air Force? I'll have an anti-aircraft company here. These are all air superiority planes, so I'm not going to worry about them that much. So you know what? Yeah, this turn, I'm going to call in 140th Guards Tank Regiment to join the Oita force. And I'm going to call in the 71st Rifles Regiment to join the Nagasaki force. Now this whole force is going to move out to here to challenge these guys. This whole force is going to make the initial push into Kanoya. I don't think they're going to actually attack this turn because they need to wait for their tanks to come up next turn, but they can at least threaten it. And then these planes, I guess I will send to Tori. Actually, I'll see what the tougher battle is. Okay. Now let's just be clear. I don't think they can fight this battle. No, not practically. So they're going to retreat over to there. I don't know where they're going to go now, to be fair. They could cause a problem if they land in Nagasaki, which is what I was kind of afraid of doing. That's why I had the air there, but I kind of needed it over here too, so I guess we'll just see what happens. Worst case, maybe I reload. Well, I'd rather not. There is Task Force Enterprise. 4 Congos, 8 Oliver Hazard Parries, Pegasi, Chomsuris, Baikukus, Donghais, LCUs, and helicopters. Plus their own attached force of Super Hornets and Tomcats. Not going to be easy for us to break that. Plus they've got assorted combat. They've got at least, looks like 3 Marine battalions attached with more naval assets. So that'll be quite a fight if they come up to here. So we have 4 major battles that are taking place this turn. I guess I shouldn't make it back up because I might need to... I might need to reload to the first backup if it turns out that their helicopters attack Nagasaki. Right, so let me just see what the situation here is at these two. Do you guys have enough anti-tank? Because there's 70 tanks here, which is a fair few. But, okay, yes, you have a lot of concours and such. I think it should be fine. And then at Tatori, we have them... Wow, we don't have them pretty outgunned. They have so many infantry. And 92 tanks here still, including Shiki Seas. So... Plus planes, although they're not good planes. But, they have... Those are decent, though. Do I even have... Not significant AA. Honestly, that's not going to be as straightforward as I had assumed it would be. Well, I'm going to call in the IL-102s. That's going to be a much tougher battle than I realized, actually. But why can't these move? Oh, because I'm still technically in battle. Okay, yes, get over there. Alright. So. Start with Yamaguchi. They have the 72nd Tank Regiment. It's rolling down with 4 command vehicles, 70 tanks, all Roku Ichishikis or M41A1s, which are all obsolete small tanks, and 3 recon cars. Basically, it's a matter of killing tanks. We have 8 T-55 AMVs of our own, which are much better than any of their tanks. We have 4 TO-55s. We have a Sturm S, we have 26 Concours, and 12 ASU-85Ms. Also, most of our infantry have Concours or Factoria missiles. So... oh, but they retreat. Okay, well, that ends that question. So Tori, then. We don't need a total victory this turn, and it's probably going to be hard to get, because they actually have a lot of force here. Wait, am I waiting on something here? Yes, the Independent Tank Regiment with its T-72s won't arrive until next turn. That would potentially help out a lot. Because my ability to push is pretty limited without that. So we're going to not attack there. Kanoya, similar situation. It's actually probably a lot more plausible for me to break through here, but they still have a lot of infantry. However, most of their support units are pretty much strictly anti-air. In fact, all of them are. Damn, they've got a lot of they've got a lot of planes too, though. A lot of air power starting to come at us now. Okay, so the one battle I'm actually going to fight out of all these is Kumamoto. This is their Special Forces. 1st Special Forces Battalion, 1st Support Battalion. They've got a lot of Delta Force in Humvees, plus Riflemen, some Stingers, and Red Eyes. They've also got a bunch of AA support. 16 Sheridans, which do have missiles. Some decent recon. And a bunch of, like, 90 millimeters. Some TOW-2 Humvees, which are potentially quite dangerous. Some of these things. Some Zippos. And they've got their Hornets and Prowlers, which are very dangerous. Now, I have a bunch of VDV, plus Iglas and Strelas and Motostrelki, some of which have BMPs. I've got more Strelas, Osas, Bryusas. I've got 8 T-72s. Honestly, even with the Rifles Regiment here, with the T-72s and BMPs, we're probably going to have to fight this fairly defensively. Although then again, like, I would be saying the same thing in their shoes. I don't feel comfortable that I have a better tank force than them. Because I kind of don't, although these T-55s could make up some numbers. Objectively, these are really not recon vehicles. And these things, though they're garbage, but what is this? BMPT. Huh. Wow, this has actually got really thick frontal armor. And 2 guns that have grenade launcher. That's weirdly powerful. I don't know that I'd ever heard of that before. Okay. It's probably a little over-optimistic about the situation in most of these, honestly. Wait, where are my planes? I should try to at least have those available here. I don't know that I'm gonna really use them, but we should try to at least have them available. Yak 38s with 500 kilo bombs. The problem is their Hornets will shoot them down very easily. And they have piles of AA to boot. But we'll see. Right, so they can start with pretty much every sector. There's also absolute fuck all for cover in my starting sector. It really depends where they spawn at. We're gonna want all our T-72s out for sure. Unfortunately, that's not that many. We're gonna want these too. And we're gonna want the recon T-55s, I think, as well. We're also gonna want some actual recon. Sure, this thing has missiles, bring that, why not? We're gonna want at least a couple of OSAs, but I've got to be real careful about their radar radiation, but bring them. And we're going to want some infantry. Maybe a plane. Okay. Okay, they are controlling 2 out of the 4 reinforcement sectors. Never mind, they're controlling... There they are, but... What? Okay, three out of the 4. And here comes a pile of armored vehicles down this road right now, immediately. So we need to kill that ASAP. Sheridans and Humvees and all kinds of garbage. Okay. Good news is most of that is pretty expensive. And it's really... Holy shit. Nope. Why? Why? I mean, I know why, but stop. Oh, they lived. Well, that definitely hurt them. Close the range on those. that? That is... oh, that's just an AA piece. Okay, I'm not worried about those. That's not enough Sheridans to stop us, although it is dangerous. Okay, everybody keep closing in. We've just caused them some pretty catastrophic losses, to be honest. I didn't really count exactly how many Sheridans and tow Humvees they just lost out of their total, but it's not 0, and they only started with 16 Sheridans and I think 8 tow Humvees. I think they might have lost probably half those at least already. Okay, I would really like the Osis to not be the first thing in the column. Now, if we can also chase them out of the Kagoshima sector relatively quickly, that would be nice. That's a +2 as well. I mean, they have 2 more reinforcement sectors and it's a big map. Total victory is going to be tough, but I don't necessarily need that. Even just to cripple them would be a pretty good success. Let's get a few T-55s and maybe some more BMPs out here just to sort of cover this flank. Okay, all I see is those things. Pivots with their cannons, which are not that dangerous in a ground engagement. Alright, let's get everybody to roll up to here, please. Scout car. Oh. A mouse. It's out of battery. Don't worry, it'll only take me a few seconds of fumbling. There we go. It's fine. See, we don't even need me. Okay, those are just V150s. These stupid things with the 152mm howitzer, so I'm not really worried about them. Yeah, close the range and kill those. Hey, we're in missile range even. That is a crazy miss. Okay, kill those. We're going to overrun the 2 Kagoshima sector, it looks like, pretty much at will now. Which is a pretty huge success. In fact, I'm going to call in another command unit. Having such trouble killing these because the T-72s don't have the range yet. Oh, it's also because they have really good frontal armor with that dozer blade and all that, but they'll die eventually. But yeah, we have barely any ability to penetrate them with a frontal shot. Fortunately, they are pretty much incapable of responding effectively, so we're alright. Honestly, it's weird that I'm not being attacked by aircraft. Like, why are the Hornets not flattening me right now? Because they should be. know what we just killed, but we killed it. Whoa, what are we engaging there?
Какие будут приказания, сэр?
Sheridans.
Вы со мной говорите?
Dragons. Oh, those have a missile, so let's kill those.
Есть приказание, сэр.
Okay.
Какие будут приказания, сэр?
I don't know that we got the command unit, but
Jesteśmy gotowi, sir. Быстрее, готовы? Считайте, дело сделано. Какие будут приказания, сэр?
otherwise we pretty much have them on their last legs here. There's my replacement command unit. Don't know what that was. That might well be their command unit, but I don't really have a shot on it. Nope, unless those guys, that is their command unit. But I think it's gonna get away.
Вы со мной говорите? Выдвигаемся.
Alright, gents, push up to like the eastern edge of the
Jesteśmy w drodze.
forest. You guys park in
Пакуйте вещи,
there.
ребята. Мы отправляемся.
Tell you what, let's get you. Huh? Where did we just take fire from? Don't see anything.
Атакуют нас!
So we don't have that much more we can call in. I mean, more Air Force, but I'd be a little scared to use it. But Delta Force is behind us. Not anymore.
Подвезти?
Right, yeah, you guys go ahead and park up with the OSAs right here. I think that was more Delta Force, and more Delta Force. Let's call in the last of the T-55s. Let's call in... We do not have much of a logistics train, but let's call in what we have and try to resupply the tanks a little.
Атакуют нас!
Holy shit. Apparently they retreated out this way.
Атакуют нас!
That's gonna get ugly.
Jesteśmy gotowi, sir. Мы снова в пути.
That did get ugly. What the hell?
Завожу мотор.
Okay, didn't realize they had that much just sitting on the reinforcement route. Okay. So we're halfway through the battle. We've caused them a lot of damage, to be honest. But they still have forces, presumably up at both of those sectors, and they've just taken Gregory as well. I don't know where they went when they fell back from here, but I can't find them, so... Now, my main strike force is not necessarily locked into being over here, but they've burned a lot of fuel. And the truck is... Two surviving trucks are definitely not going to be enough to fully resupply them, so... I'm a little leery of committing them any further. I'll get what I can together and move it over these directions.
Атакуют!
Killing things? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna have them move fast into here, but I
Хороший
think
враг, мертвый враг.
they just caught up with and finished off whatever was left down here. Maybe there's more still. Where did the trucks park? Okay,
Почему-то мне
they are
кажется, что вы
empty.
хотите рискнуть
Well,
нашими жизнями.
get over to the FOB as quick as you can.
Мы попали под обстрел.
We just killed another thing down here. I have to assume we're probably done now. Let's get you back in
Изделию
here.
конец, парни, отправляемся.
Maybe park up right here, just in case.
Какие будут приказания, сэр?
Yeah, so we have some more fuel. We're not in, like, super great shape. With 8 minutes left, I don't know that we're gonna make it to, like, to Oita or wherever we try to push. But you know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. This is an aggressive campaign. Get me to there, column. Right now. I'm also going to start assembling a new attack force out of what I can get over here to try and retake Gregory. I mean, the good news altogether is that we've probably pretty much pulverized them. I don't know why their planes haven't made any appearance at all yet, but they've got to be pretty much out of Sheridans, I think. And pretty much out of TOW2 Jeeps. Maybe I'm wrong, but I do think so. What the hell? How many forces did they have just hiding back here? I'm glad I've got the SU-122s parked up there, but... I mean, how many Humvees retreated down this damn road? I think that's actually my newly spawned T-55 that died there that we're looking at, but there's so many... And there's my cargo truck, but... So many random American Humvees plastered on this road. Alright. Anything else that's of any use? Basically just infantry. For uses, maybe. They have some limited ground attack ability. They're mostly anti-helicopter. Okay, well they're gonna be able to see me moving up over here now. Oh, shit. Found the Hornets. I didn't actually bring my AA with. I kind of left it parked back here. No, we need to hole up in this forest and not move any further until the AA gets up here. I'm gonna bring up a couple of Bruces as well. And a couple of Strelas. We're also basically out of fuel. Getting quite low at least. What did I lose? 2 BMPTs, I think is it actually. So they, yeah, but those are quite good and quite expensive, so those are a pretty major loss actually. I didn't see any prowlers, so hopefully. We've just got to be quick on the trigger. Like, the prowlers don't work if I just smash this radar off button very quickly when they appear, but got to be ready for that. I'm not sure what that's about. Also, there's a bunch of Delta Force in this stupid forest, and to be fair, they're very expensive, but that's just the right terrain for them. And practically their whole army is Delta Force, so... Okay, here come the OSAs. Let's move up to here quickly. Osas, if you want to park up right there.
Атакую нас!
Oh, shit.
Атакую нас!
Something killed one of my... Oh, hell yes. These FA-18s just ran straight into my whole wall of Osas and Strelas coming up. And that is scratched 2 FA-18s. They are not getting those back, and they are very expensive and very limited. Oh, here comes 2 more. Hold on. Can I get an ID? Are those are Hornets. Why are they Hornets again? Oh, those are just gonna strike my Nosa though. And they got it, to be fair. But they lost one to Estrella. And I'm about to lose Estrella to whatever the hell this is, and these are fully out of fuel. Yeah, the attack's bogging down a little, you know. Wait, hold up. All their FA-18s just died, basically, except for the one that I know is committed. Let's bomb this. It kind of depends how much A they have available, but... I'm not going to save my A without attempting it, so... And they're moving. Well, bomb, like, right there. And, like, right there-ish, and perhaps right there-ish. Oh, shit. Apparently they have some AA available. In the forest right there, huh? Well, lost a yak. Might lose 2. Not sure I hit anything useful with the bombs. Pretty certain I didn't. Ultimately, overall, I think that was a winning exchange just now, but it's not that great. And I lost, like, 2 Beryusas, 2 Osas. Oh. And here comes their last Hornet. Missed. Out of missiles. That's not good. Push up on that sector right the hell now, because we're probably just gonna die if you don't. God, we're all out of fuel. We need a logistical supply chain right now, very badly, and we don't have one.
Вы со мной говорите?
Command vehicle. Kill. Yep, there goes the F-18. Goodbye, command vehicle. Lost a T-72, but the command vehicle's dead. They're not going to be able to call the Hornet in again from right here. Delta Force is about to kill my Strelas. This has gotten messy.
Вы со мной говорите?
Oh shit. Infantry.
Это не моя власть. Так, сэр.
Well, Strelky, I'll get up to there, please.
Рубите атаку, бойцы.
Why is this sound here? For the love of God, someone shoot it. And we won. Total victory, in fact. So that's over. I mean, we did it. Ugly, kind of. But, well, I say ugly, but ultimately it was a 6-to-1 casualty ratio, more or less, so not that ugly. I mean, I lost 2 trucks, I lost allegedly no infantry. I'm pretty confident I lost at least some Motostrelki. I lost 2 Beryusas and 2 Osas. I lost 1 T-72, 4 T-55s, a PT-71, 2 BMPTs, and 1 Yak was shot down today. But I killed an M14A1. I apparently killed 20 Delta Force, 4 Riflemen, 2 Stingers, 3 Red Eyes, 4 Avengers, 6 PVODs, 4 Eyehawks, 13 Sheridans, 3 M551A caps, 4 M151A2s, 5 V150-90 mils, 8 TOW2 Humvees, 4 M728s, 8 Zippos, and I shot down 3 FA-18A Hornets. So, well, all they really had left by the end, despite... If I had had any logistical capacity, we would have been doing great, but... all they really had left at the end was some Sheridans and a few Delta Force and Red Eyes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, the 1st Special Forces Battalion and 1st Support Battalion are both destroyed. The USN Seed Squadron is intact, but the USMC's Multi-Role Squadron is pretty gutted. They only have 1 Hornet left. So, that's the threat to our flank. Done. Gone. The only ongoing risk is these helicopters, but the flank threat on the ground is gone. I will probably send the anti-aircraft and VDV back to Nagasaki next turn and let the rifles push up towards Kanoya. Okay, so we're looking pretty okay. Like we could win next turn, kind of okay. Hopefully these helicopters don't push on Nagasaki. I'm a little afraid they will. Thanks for watching, sailors. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like or subscribing. New parts will be up every other day for the most part. Or you can watch live on Twitch once a week. Have a nice day, sailors. This is Sea Lord Jenda, signing off.